Hello, everybody. Mrs. Shay and Maya, how you doing, ladies? How you doing? Let me see if I can get this on here. If I can hear myself. If it pops up. If it pops up. Give me 1 second. All right. Seems like I got a super lag, man. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, how y'all doing? See, there's a few people in here. Appreciate you. How's everybody's life been over the last week or so? Oh man, I see a lot of stuff going on in the community. A lot of stuff going on. Some good videos, some bullcrap videos, some good news, some bad news. I don't know, man. Yeah, I know. I don't know who's all in here right now. If y'all can just drop in the comments below to say something so I can see who all here. But I know most of y'all probably saw John's video, John and Josh's video on the Power Hour, and Josh, just talking about some of the things he's been going through and dealing with, some of the hard choices he got to make, man. You got to do what you got to do in life. Nothing to, feel ashamed about, or, there's some things in life we can't control, and there's some things we can. In the restaurants, well, I'm sure this ain't just a restaurant thing. I'm sure this any management position, they tell you, control the controllables. Sometimes you got to adjust. Think about adjusting too sometimes, man. When it comes to making adjustments, oftentimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, or things that you may even look at in the present as it may be like a failure, like stepping back, and I'm just relating this to this because Josh, I don't know if you're watching right now or if you'll watch this later, but listen, bro, hold your head up, man. You ain't got nothing. I hope that you keep making videos and that you continue to share like what's going on. I know if you do got to go back to work and things, it's going to take up extra time, but I hope you still find the time to kind of be a part of the community. But ain't no shame in that, man. You got to do what you got to do for your family, for your kids. And if it means getting a job, get a job. Do what you got to do, man. I tell that to everybody. That's why I tell people, don't be in a rush to be. There's no reason, honestly, to be a full-time reseller. Really, there's really not. If you are, that's fine. But if you ain't, that's fine. And actually, it's even better. It's less pressure. You have more options, and you have more opportunity. Because you don't have to necessarily rely on that income. But listen, bro, hold your head up. Stay connected with the community. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, just give me a message. But everybody else, keep doing what y'all doing, man. Stay away from the dark side of YouTube, reselling YouTube. the YouTube back streets, alleyways, the YouTube alleyways. There's a lot of crazy stuff in them YouTube alleyways. Maya says she feel like there's so much drama, you need to step back. Yeah, I know, right? Step back from the drama. Don't step back from those of us that don't feed into that nonsense. Life is good, not easy, but good. You know what? And life ain't never promised to be easy. You know, sometimes what I be thinking about, Miss Lachey, I think to myself like this. I say, man, one, nobody ever promised us that life will be all cookies and cream and all that. But two, you don't really want it to be. You know, what type of life would you have if everything was always good and everything was always perfect? I look at life like the jungle, like, or just like if you ever think about nature, right? And people there's these disasters, right? You might have a tsunami or an avalanche or earthquake, like, and people might lose their lives or things happening. But it's like life doesn't care one way or another. Life ain't trying to kill you, but life ain't necessarily trying to help you live. Life is just life, right? It's out there, but it's geared toward like the survival of the fittest. And so mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you have to be fit to survive because everything out there is doing everything it can. I'm not going to say to kill you, but it is going to do everything it can to break you down and see if you are really worthy, of the best parts of this thing that we call life. Because I feel like the only way you can get to the best parts is if you make it through the hard parts. The best parts are reserved for those who persevere. You know, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Not that it's ruining my life or anything, but I see so much politics making its way into people's videos and comment section, and it's like people blaming politics and not owning their mistakes. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Politics plays a small role, but at the end of the day, control the controllables. Some aspects of politics we can't control, so why worry about it? Some we can. Primo Chemo. What's going on, my brother? I saw you on John's show the other day. It was a good show. It's a good show. I like your personality and your setup. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Do this part-time as of right now, and I stay there. I don't want to depend on this 100. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I got another little business I'm working on, y'all. I can't bring it out there yet. It ain't because I'm worried about like competition on YouTube or nationally. I don't want to create any local competition yet, but I just got a 186 square foot office space, not very large. I got to get set up. I ain't supposed to move in until March 1st. I still got a few more things to do, but listen, I'm not. I always told y'all this, and I'll keep telling y'all this. Reselling is not my end game. It's just a stepping stone, man. And this is not something that I would like to do in some form or fashion, for as far as I can see into the future, but I don't want it to be the only thing that I do. I've never wanted this to be the only thing that I do for income. Ping G. Hey, Ping. How you doing? Glad to see you here. I appreciate it. So we'll get into the show tonight. Only got a couple things. I just want to have a general conversation, but I did want to go over eBay's winter seller update, which doesn't seem like it's a lot. I really didn't read the whole thing. I just kind of, skimmed over it. I just wanted to kind of wait to go over it with y'all. I don't think there's any major changes. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick and we can all talk about it. But because there are some things about this that may cause us to really, really have to think about our current business practices. Where the heck is this tab at? I'm tripping. Hold up, yo. My computer does not want to cooperate today, man. And I don't like this camera. I need a good, affordable webcam. Can anybody here? I know Primo Kimo, your video looked pretty good. If you still here, can y'all tell me a good, affordable webcam to purchase? Because I was looking at some of my lives. I typically don't go back and look at my videos, but I was, and I was like, that is not good quality, man. I was actually looking up how to use my phone as a webcam. I was going to do that. Okay, here we go. All right. So eBay for Business, seller update. Let's go ahead and read the news. So it says it got improved seller tools to help you grow your business, run your business more efficiently, stronger protections on your transactions, updates to fees and financials, and then some other changes. I don't think there's really anything in this tool recommendation part that I was kind of looking at. Says that they're committed to simplifying how we sell. That's why we're bringing more selling tools and tips right to where we spend our time, which is in our seller hub. I gotta get rid of this candy. All right. It says create sales and events from active listings in the eBay app. All right, so we already knew that. I do know I have not really been using that whole create a sale format lately. I've been going through listings and then I've been running sales based on the item and how long it's been sitting there, and I just use that sell it faster tab. That's been very, very helpful for me. Have any of y'all been using that more, or have you just been kind of using the regular sell tab? Let me know in the comments. But there's really nothing new there. I want to just go to the fee part. Really, there hasn't been a fee increase on eBay since what? Is it last year, y'all? It was last year the last time, or was it the year before? I can't remember. Let me know in the comments. Has eBay, did they do a fee increase at all last year? I don't remember. Okay, so let's say we've kept our per order fee consistent since we started processing payments in 2020, but due to rising costs, we're making an adjustment to this fee. Oh, shoot. This change will enable us to continue to improve our marketplace so you and your buyers can have the best experience. What you need to know. What do you need to know? You need to know that eBay is pricing itself out the market. Anyway, what do you need to know? Starting March 15th, 2024, the per order fee on orders over $10 will increase from 30 cents to 40 cents across all categories. So that's a 10-cent fee increase across all categories, y'all. For example, if selling a trading card for $25, including shipping plus tax, you will now pay a fee of $371 instead of $361, an increase of 10 cents. We understand this change could impact the economics of selling lower priced items. That's why for orders $10 and under, there will be no change, and you will continue to be charged the current rate of 30 cents. I mean, I think that is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I guess if you can use that word in relation to fees, to only put that 10 cent on orders $10 or more, I think that's something I can live with. What about y'all? Y'all think that's something y'all can live with? And then anything under that, no increase. I think that's fair enough, man. I had seen a video because they just came out with this. There was a couple people that already made some videos about this, but somebody was actually mad about that. It's not much, but again, the more you sell and then you add on top of that the promoted listings and all the other stuff, it could add up. It could add up. What constitutes an order? An order is defined as any number of items purchased, blah, blah, blah. Says we charge one final value fee when your items sell and you don't have to worry about third-party payment processing fees. This fee is calculated as a percentage of the total amount of sale, plus a per order fee of 40 cents for orders totaling over $10 or 30 cents for orders under. You know what, too, though? I didn't see it in here, and I think the and this is just a per order fee, but I didn't see it in here. I think the fee that would probably be worse, I guess, is the final value fee, right? If those fees went up. So I would say it's a net positive that the final value fee was not increased on us. You know what I mean? Says reduce unpaid items when sending offers. In recent months, we've made improvements to reduce unpaid item cases for buy it now and best offer sales, which has led to an increase in successful payments. Based on your feedback, we're extending these improvements to seller-initiated offers over the coming weeks. When potential buyers are interested in your offer, they will be taken directly to checkout, and in order to accept the offer and insure the item or secure the item, they'll need to successfully complete payment. What you need to know, this change to seller-initiated offers will help reduce unpaid item incidents by requiring buyers to pay for the item in order to accept your offer. If a buyer abandons the checkout page, the item will still be available to other potential buyers. It's another net positive. Want to say, I heard John talk about this not too long ago, but I can't remember. That is really good. I know for a minute there, I had started getting a few unpaid items, a few of them. In fact, one just ended up expiring and the person got the ding, but I hadn't gotten none for a while before that. So I want to say it's if I had to guess, I would say it's probably because they was doing all these updates and making these. But I do think that's another good thing, that it's not just when somebody, because initially it was when somebody sent us an offer, and if we accepted it, then they would make immediate payment. But now it's when you send the offer. And I think it's a good thing that if they don't complete the payment, the item stays on the site, which should help us not to have so many items. Typically, when a person doesn't pay, I'll go back and replenish it. But, you forget sometimes, and then you get those items that's just dead stock until you go through your inventory. So this is positive in a couple ways, right? It ensures that we get our payment for sending out the offer. And it also ensures that if the person doesn't buy, the offer is still up for sale and still can be purchased, and we don't have to worry about going into our inventory and replenishing it just because somebody basically agreed to purchase but never went through with the purchase. Maybe the last thing that this was a really, really small update, y'all, in terms of the things that eBay is doing or changing, and most of it we already kind of knew. Keep your listing drafts longer. What you need to know: we've changed the way draft listings are saved. In the past, a draft would be saved for 75 days after its creation, even if you made changes to it. Now, when you make a change, you'll have 75 days from that point onward before it's no longer available. You can save up to 250 drafts through the quick listing tool on eBay and the eBay mobile app, and up to 5,000 through the single and bulk business listing tools. I don't think I've ever had to keep a draft for 75 days, but I guess that's good to know. And that's pretty much the gist of this eBay seller update, y'all. It's just an increase in fees for the per order fee, and I didn't see any final value fee increase at all, which is all in all, I think it's good. I think it's good. Um, Even when I was thinking about them coming out with the winter update and the fees, I just didn't sense that they would really have a fee increase with the promoted listing thing, at least not yet. You know what I mean? I just feel like, you know, you're making it hard. But if you look at the market as far as fees across the other main platforms, I think that eBay still thinks it's actually cheaper if you compare to Amazon FBA, not FBM, but FBA, and if you compare it to maybe Poshmark in some aspects. I'm not going to throw Macari in there. They definitely ain't got nothing on Walmart as far as fees goes. They can't even come close to that. So, but all in all, that's pretty much the gist of it. Let me check some of these comments real quick. Saw some complaints about regulatory operating fee. I don't know, Maya. Let me know more about that. I did not hear anything about it, but who knows? You know what? eBay might, and I had just seen some things about this in a forum I was going through. But eBay might take a page out of Amazon's book, and if you sell a certain amount on the site, they may require sellers to have insurance. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This was this was just in a forum, so this is nothing that I've seen eBay talk about, heard eBay talk about, heard any other sellers talk about. But it would make sense. It would make sense, especially with them facing these lawsuits for things being sold on their sites. I mean, things that they can actually control being sold or not, but that's besides the point. But it was one of those things where it was saying it was talks about eBay requiring sellers who do certain types of volume to have, that insurance of $1 million with eBay on the policy. And that's what Amazon do. So with Amazon, once you hit $10,000 in a month, they make you get the insurance. And it doesn't matter what you do after that, you still got to kind of carry the insurance. But I think if you selling a good amount per year, if you selling enough that you got to, file taxes and stuff, you probably should have insurance just in case. Insurance is fairly cheap. I think I pay $70 a month to cover up to 1 million. So, it would be interesting though if they did that. Can you imagine the storm of videos? I don't know what they will require though that a seller does in revenue in order, to have to get it. But I mean, hopefully it'll be a higher threshold like Amazon. If they do, but I'm not even saying it would. Last February, there was an increase in final value fees. And okay. So last year, but it was earlier in the year. That's why it's hard to remember because it was such a while ago. But I mean, I think the final value fee is something I would be more concerned about over a per order fee, maybe. And it's only 10 cents. So I mean, I guess you can say that, but if you're doing a super high volume on eBay, I guess that could add up too. 10-cent fee increase is barely anything, but watch someone will make a video. Oh, you already know Maya, they coming. A 10-cent fee in eBay. I'm done selling on you. Can you imagine the Facebook groups? Most of these people ain't even got to worry about. It's just as bad as the people who be like, I don't what they, some of the people that say like they don't want to do like extra listings past what eBay allots them because they don't want to pay like the extra 10 cent or the extra quarter or whatever. Ain't no way I ain't putting up. I get 200 listings and I ain't going over that because I don't want to pay that extra 25 cents. Shit, you better find something else to sell. If you don't want to pay an extra quarter to make some money, you better find something else to sell. Hey man, people be what they call it, penny wise and pound foolish, something like that. Tripping, man. I can live with a 10 cent. Yeah. Nah, eBay still ain't that bad. Look, what I if I had to put out there what my main gripe would be with eBay, it would be this promoted listing thing. It wouldn't even be, you know what? I would actually rather that they had kept the algorithm and all that the same, the search by best match the same, and that they increased the final value fee, but I ain't gonna say necessarily do away with the ad stuff, but I would say make it more of like an Amazon type of thing where if you just want more visibility on your product or your store, you can pay for that, but that basically your visibility on the site is not necessarily contingent upon that as it is right now. Because the fact of the matter is that if you're not promoting for the most part, you're just not going to get that much visibility, man. You just won't. And they even changed the algorithm to be in conjunction with that. And so I think that I would rather pay a little bit more in fees, take that away. And for those who want to, maybe do a pay-per-click campaign or something like that, then, they can do that. But you keep the regular competition the way it was, based on best match, algorithms based on best match, based on title, the normal stuff that it used to be, because it's not the same. It's not the same. Once you inject this promoted listing thing and now the algorithm has to prioritize certain things, it's just not the same, man. And no matter what they say, we all know it's not the same. They know it's not the same. So I would rather have a higher final value fee than this whole promoted listings bull crap, man. So make me pay a little bit more to work the site. You can cover your expenses with that. I actually wonder long term for them, would it have made more sense to just do fee increases over promoted listings? I wonder what would work. I know they gave us their revenue reports for promoted listings over the last couple of years, but I mean, in the next 3 to 5 years, how well would that do for them? And not only that, well, I guess when you control like traffic, it's probably going to do well, because if not, people's stuff ain't going to get sold anytime soon. But I wonder would it have made more sense though for them in the long term to just do their fee increases and not make competition based on whether or not I'm promoting at an extra 12%, 10% above, those final value fees. Maybe they see that as even in the playing field. But even when you think about Amazon's fee, when you do FBA, that fee, the reason why a seller like me would be okay with that fee is because Amazon's doing all the leg work. All the work is front loaded, right? Once I send in my shipment, it's all Amazon, from reception to inventory and storage to shipping to customer service. All of that is Amazon. So you can understand why a fee would shoot up to 25 something percent, which for all of those things are still very low, right? It's still very low. So I can understand that. What I wouldn't understand is if a site like eBay had fees that high, but I'm still doing all the work, right? That wouldn't make sense. But essentially, that's what it is, or that's what it's getting up to when you add up the promoted listings. So, I think that's something they should change, man. I think it would bring in, I don't see any incentive for big sellers to stay there over the long term. I really don't. But who am I? You know what? I'm happy with the changes to the drafts. I'm using them a lot now because I took off-season items out of my store to try to increase sell-through. Yeah, I use drafts a lot too, man. I usually schedule at least a week or two worth. My last few just went out today. So now I got to put some more up, but I typically don't need 75 days worth. I guess if you're a bigger seller and you need a bigger draft bank, I don't need that many days though. And I just Googled the regulatory operating fee. It looks like it's for items going to EU countries, like a fee to process the items to comply with laws in those countries. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna have to look into that now, Maya, because the reason why that seems pretty important to me is that I turned off international shipping because I had kept getting dings for items that health and beauty and stuff like that. You got a lot of things that we can use here and is legal that the simplest thing over in a different country, especially the EU, is it's not allowed. So eBay expects us to know this, and they'll ding your account. And you can get suspended. I've actually gotten suspended before years ago, but I have gotten suspended for items that, how the hell am I supposed to know what's going on in the EU and what seriously. It's why I turned off Canada for Amazon. I keep getting dinged for stuff in Amazon Canada. It's like some Maybelline concealers, and they're talking this SPF is not something crazy, ain't allowed in Canada. Like, the stuff don't even have SPF in it. So I turned that off. But if paying eBay that fee would nullify getting those dings, I would turn international shipping back on, because there's a lot of people internationally that would buy certain products. But I just don't turn it on because eBay dings you for no reason, and they expect you to know. So whatever. Mike, what's happening, bro? I didn't know you was gonna be off this week too, Mike. When you coming back to do the videos? And also make sure y'all check out Flipping Goodies channel, Mike. Every Tuesday we talk about Walmart, mostly. It's supposed to be all, but mostly. We got other stuff going on there too, though. But check him out. I agree with you on the fees. Poshmark charges more, but I don't have an issue with paying it. You get way more for your money there. So, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Poshmark's fee include? No, I think you can charge the buyer shipping or do free shipping on Poshmark, correct? So it's like 20% plus shipping, but they're not charging a fee on the final value plus the shipping and all that like eBay. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I sold on Poshmark years ago for a hot minute, but not long enough to like really know the ins and out. 50 Loon, what's happening, my man? Thanks for stopping in tonight. I always appreciate it, and I appreciate your message. Thank you. Let me know about the Poshmark. The shop, the shop's a mess, Miss Lachey. But all is not lost. I have begun. So here's the plan. I had putting it off because it was cold up here and it was way too cold, and I wasn't moving a bunch of metal and stuff around in the freezing cold. Just not doing it. However, as of right now, I got one of the little small shelves I had against the wall over there out the way. I cleared off the food, as I know y'all seen before, like how I had food on the outside shelf. I put that inside of like a closed metal shelf, and that's in the corner. I moved the refrigerator and stuff onto that plastic shelf. There's still that little table sitting next to that, but that table's going to come out because right where I'm sitting in front of, my shipping station, I got to move all of that down. So I'm going to move it all down. Then I'm going to pull the racks back and then set everything up that way. So that is going to happen. That's going to happen. This ain't tentative. That's going to happen the first weekend in March, which I want to say is 2 weeks away, right? That's when I scheduled that for, because I'm gonna get some of the boys over here to help me out. Where we at? Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now. So this weekend is 24th. So that's 2 weeks from now. I'm gonna bring a couple of boys over here, give them knuckleheads a couple dollars to help me pull everything out. So that means by the time y'all see me on that third week, I should have everything rearranged. Because I do got a few pallets coming too, and I got to get everything reset for that and have room for it. But I also applied to sell on Whatnot, so we're going to see if they approve me for that. I haven't come up with a cohesive plan as to what I want to sell on there yet, but I at least want to be approved to sell on there, because I do want to. I told y'all this year I wanted to get on there and start it, just to see. I was just only start off with one day type of stuff with y'all wanna like, because I need some support, y'all. And when I do start selling over there, I need y'all to check me out. But what type of stuff would y'all be interested in? I'm just curious. First of all, do any of y'all shop on Whatnot? First off, and if you do, what do you shop for on Whatnot for the most part? Now I know there's a lot of ladies in here, so I'm assuming y'all shop for clothes, probably, maybe some home goods. I know a lot of people do electronics and things like that. I don't know, man. I do think that my target demographic on Whatnot would be women. Same way my target demographic is for my business is women. Because y'all like to look pretty. Sorry, Thrifty Lou. Sorry. Okay. You're actually a lady. Sorry, man. That's good to know. It's hard to tell with some of these screen names, man. Seriously. I ain't mean to miss Gingy. My bad. I remember years ago I sold a couple of large anime figures on eBay and got totally hosed on fees because the buyer paid $70 to ship it to California. And they have 10% sales tax. Wow. California. Good old California. For me, I'd rather just sell these large items on Mercari or Poshmark or on hobby sites using PayPal, goods, and services. I avoid eBay at all costs. eBay, I'm going to keep saying this. eBay, if they don't innovate, soon they're going to start pricing themselves out the market, man. Not just pricing themselves out the market. They're going to fall behind with technology. Hey, have y'all seen OpenAI's Sora? Is that the name of it? Am I saying that right? Is it Sora? Yeah, Sora. Okay. I'm not going to pull up the videos and stuff because I ain't got it already set up, but you should check it out if y'all haven't checked it out or heard about it. So Sora was created by OpenAI. It's a talk to video AI, but this is like next level. So basically, you would say something like, "I want to see," or make a video of a lady walking down the street, a cityscape with a bunch of lights and maybe like fancy cars, whatever you say, and it creates the video from what you put in the input, right? But this is like really, really good stuff. Now they did show that there's some things they got to work on, but listen, y'all, to be as far ahead as they are, that was a tease for them to show that. Y'all should go to the site. If you haven't gone to the site yet, go to the site or just search YouTube after the live and search OpenAI Sora and look at some of the stuff they're creating. Look, it's going to change the game in a lot of ways as far as that goes. But AI in and of itself is being implemented in all facets of business. So even when you think about us being resellers or you think about the job market, right? A lot of creators, this is going to affect their income. A lot of industries, as far as like they have to do with finances and things like that, is going to affect their income. But to be able to just say, "Hey, I need you to create this," they was talking about how it even affect people whose income come from drone footage and stuff, because they showed footage that was like it was created like it was made by a drone, but it was just the AI, and you couldn't really tell the difference, right? And so for us, like me, I know I'm not really necessarily like in those types of spaces, but I keep an eye on it because you got to think like in what ways, one, can these platforms implement it, but two, how is these platforms implementing the latest technologies because if certain platforms like eBay, for say, if they fall too far behind, like it's you just got to think, man. At some point, it's just going to be a lost cause, and I'm not saying anytime soon, but even as an individual for myself, like what are my options going forward? Because what you might think is an option right now, in the next, excuse me, 3 to 5 years, might not be an option. Might not be an option for you. That's why I don't know why people get so caught up in these petty arguments and things like that about reselling and YouTube and, you know, eBay this or just the petty stuff, because there's such a much larger picture that we need to be focused on if we want to be successful in this business. And so even if you think of the whatnots of the world and things like that, I would love that eBay, I don't know if they will not, I know people have been talking about, I would love for them to implement a live selling aspect to the site. I think something like that. Look, if eBay did it right, doing something like that and doing it right could breathe life right back into their platform. It could breathe life right back into their platform. I think they will have to figure out how they're going to charge and do the fees. I think there'll probably be a lot to figure out on their part. Or they can just go out and spend some money and buy whatnot. Not that whatnot's for sale, but hell, if they was really, in it to win it, you would think that those would be the types of things they would be coming up with. And so I just try to keep my eye on what's going on in my environment. And I don't hear a whole lot. There are some. I don't hear a whole lot of resellers talking about things like that in their videos. It's either the negative stuff or it's just the same old merry-go-round, y'all. You know what I mean? But we're not just reseller. I'm not just a reseller, right? I'm not just a reseller. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm trying to go in a direction that looks like it's going to lead me to have the most success. I don't care where that takes me. But I do know this, focusing solely on one platform and one form of doing it, it could work for a while. Look, and I know a lot of y'all some of y'all might not like the guy. I don't really feel for him one way or another. I like some of the videos, but Daily Refinement, right? If you, irregardless, let's just be objective for a second, okay? Be objective. Forget everything and all the drama stuff. So this man got suspended off of eBay. I don't care what you think about that. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential to the subject. Get suspended. Now, for a lot of people, that would have been the end of it, right? That would have been the end of it. For a lot of people, you get your main platform that brings the majority of your income, you get suspended. A lot of people would have been discouraged enough to quit, but he didn't quit. Thought about it. He didn't overreact. Went and started on Whatnot. Now, when you look at his operation, it's a really good operation as far as I can tell. And all I can judge by is what I see in the videos, right? But I don't know, man. I can respect a person who faces that type of adversity, who faces other YouTubers that want to whatever. I don't know what that stuff is about, but can stay focused on what they need to do to be successful and be able to be flexible enough to pivot to wherever they need to go and to make it happen, right? I don't think there's a lot of people out there like that in any industry, but especially in reselling. I think a lot of resellers are just so stiff, man, and so like focused on just what they're doing and how they're doing it, that if something was to go wrong, they could not survive it. I look at that operation, I say to myself, and he ain't the only one. I know I've been looking at a lot of really big Whatnot sellers lately, and they are doing like some big numbers over there. And it's a different business model. It takes a different type of setup, but it's something that I think is not just I don't know what you would say. It's not just like one of those things. It's not a fad type of thing over there. I think we way past that when it comes to Whatnot. I think Whatnot is a valuable business model for a lot of people. I think you can go over there, and the hardest part is going to be to build your audience. But if you stay consistent, like anything else, you can have a lot of success. But how can you do that if you ain't keeping your pulse on, if you ain't keeping your eye on the pulse of the industry and on where the technologies are going or what sites are innovating and how people, the consumer, is interacting, right? How they're buying, what are their outlets, what are they using, what types of sites are they drawn to? And if you are going to be on eBay and that's going to be your only site, then you just got to say to yourself, well, as of right now, according to the numbers, as far as customers and things go, eBay is a dying site. It is not growing. It is not growing. Their only growth in revenue comes from fees from others, from the sellers. So that's not growth that we want to see. And so, I think that any decision that you make going forward as a business person has to start right now if you want longevity. Unless eBay is just going to be like some ancillary type, thing for your business, and it's just over here, and you just whatever revenue you can kind of get from it, you get from it, and you really ain't worried too much. But it's a lot to think about, man. It's a lot to think about. You do not need a plan for whatnot. What you mean a plan, Mike? Oh, there you go. Just throw stuff up there in themselves. I don't know, man. That's what I want to find out. Well, I just throw something up. We're gonna find out, because if I get approved, I'm gonna set up auction. I ain't trying to sell no crap either, Mike. I ain't gonna just throw anything up there, man. I want people to come back. You know what I mean? I want people to come back, but I was looking at some horror stories, people selling stuff and sending people to run. I mean, I guess you're gonna have those type of sellers anywhere. Scammer's a scammer. It don't matter what platform they on. My thing is, I want to build that customer loyalty, man. I want to make sure that people know that what I show is what they'll get exactly the way I say they'll get it. Period. Sneakers and luxury brands. I don't know if I would trust much luxury brands, man, but I don't know. I heard there's a lot of fakes, but I guess that's just what I heard. I don't know from experience, so I ain't gonna say that. I only use a computer, so not shopping on whatnot. I haven't shopped on there either, Ping. I've been like just researching, looking at auctions and how they go, stuff like that. I think I told you I uninstalled whatnot. I ordered 4 or 5 items and every single order was messed up or not. That's just crap. Sound like you was shopping on eBay, Maya. You shopping on eBay? You sure that wasn't eBay? No. That's messed up. That's messed up. I seen a post in one of the groups. The person ordered a bunch of shoes. I want to say, I don't know, it was a lot, man, like 50, 60 pair. They said in an auction, the way that the person presented it was all the shoes were in a box and the shoes come with a box. They said when they got the shoes and they showed a picture, all the shoes were just thrown in one big box. One big box. And they was like, I don't even know if these is all the same shoes I was supposed to get. Then they messaged the seller, and the seller was like, well, that's just the way I ship them. I ain't going to put them. Like, bro, you can't do that. If you show a person a shoe that's in a shoe box and you don't say, hey, these are not coming with the box, what do you think the consumer is going to expect to get, man? See, that type of stuff would just have me pissed off. I'd be ready to track somebody down or something, man. Seriously. You forgive me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I got to be politically correct. I haven't purchased anything on whatnot. I do watch YouTubers I support. One sells media and the other sells clothes. Hey, that's apparently the bigger YouTubers. That's the main selling platform. It seemed like they moved to. You got Kevin over there. You got Harry Tornado over there. You got I can't think of the other guy's name. ADH Dave, is that his name? I mean, they had followers before they went, but so you can't really like judge their success based on somebody who's starting off without that. But you know, I mean, at the same time, too, just because you got a following don't mean people want to buy the stuff over time, right? They might support you initially, but you got to keep coming with something actually desirable and have some decent customer service behind it, or people eventually just gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I don't know if you were on John's solo live a few days ago, but people were arguing over the dumbest thing. And I feel like some people in the community really look down on people focusing on other platforms. I was listening to that live. I was listening to that live. Where was I? I was either here or in the gym listening to that live. And I heard, and it seemed like John really wasn't, you know what I mean? He was just trying to get past it, but you could tell a couple people in the chat was going back and forth. I don't look down on nobody for doing what's in the best interest of them and their business, in their life. I don't like who said that there's some like set standard that we have to follow to be a reseller or to be a successful seller or to be a successful entrepreneur. There ain't no set standard. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no guidelines that say you got to do it this way or sell on this platform, or if you do this way and crossway, you cheating. And they're like, no, listen, man, listen. By any means necessary. By any means necessary. That's my philosophy. Of course, I want to make it as easy as possible, as streamlined as possible, and as practical as possible. But by any means necessary. If eBay worked and that's all I need, cool. But if it ain't all I need and it ain't working and I got to do this, if I got to get me a little part-time hustle, listen, I don't care. The only one thing I don't want to do is go back to like a full-time regular job, unless it would be something in the areas that I'm passionate about, which is like working with kids and things like that. That would be a consideration, but it would have to be something. Which also, guys, that's something else coming up here. I'm going to be starting a nonprofit. I'm gonna tell y'all more about that because I really want people to know about this. But when I give you the info, I think you'll like it. And a lot of it's just based on my own past and kind of like how I grew up and some of the things that I didn't have, which I don't want to make it the reason that I was delinquent when I was younger. But however, it contributed. You know what I mean? It's important to, one, have a male role model in your life, and to two, be in the right environments around the right type of people. Being in the wrong type of environments around the wrong type of people is it's hard not to go with the crowd in those situations, especially when you're young and impressionable. And so my organization is just going to focus on, one, finding a way to get young people involved with trades again, because they don't do that no more. The carpentry and electrician and plumbing and all of that, they just don't teach these things in school no more. But two, and I know there's already organizations out there to do that, but in my area, there's a few, but I got like a different way that I want to do it. Mine is focused on talent, bringing these young people into an environment where you can sit with them, you can see what it is that they like to do, what it is that they might be passionate about, what do they have a talent or aptitude for. And when you can figure that out, if you can have somebody help to cultivate that and to harness that and to help them get better at it. Because one of the reasons why a lot of young people don't is because, one, they're distracted, and two, there's nobody really to work with them and bring it out of them and let them know, hey, look, man, you're a great artist. You should, here, let me help you. Or, hey, man, you're really good at this, or you really good with your hands. Here's something. There's just not enough of that. I'm not saying there's nobody out there doing it. It's just not enough of it, but there's way more than enough distractions for them. And so that's kind of the gist of my organization, but it is something I'm going to start. I totally forget why I even went off on that tangent, but just talking about the whole by any means necessary things and that whole drama. Like, there's bigger things going on, y'all. Bigger things going on. Bigger things going on, man. Who cares if somebody's selling on another platform? Is they making it work? Who cares if somebody stops doing YouTube? I mean, it's so, what does it matter? Doesn't matter. Worry about what you got going on. A lot of resellers are just resellers, not entrepreneurs. A lot of resellers are just resellers, Mr. Shea. And not only that, a lot of them, let me see how I say this. Most of them have a higher opinion of themselves than like it doesn't represent reality. I think. Let's just put it that way. I think a lot of resellers put themselves out there as knowing more than they really know, capable of more than they're really capable of. And it's just not the case, man. But it's a shame because a lot of people is deceived by that. You know what I mean? And they're not really being helped by it. That's the shame. It ain't a shame. If a person want to live in their own delusion, that's fine and dandy. Or if they want to live in their own lie, but then it's another thing when you pull other people into it. You know what I mean? I feel like I get attacked all the time for saying eBay is going to fail down the road because they aren't gaining younger buyers. Don't know. I don't know why it's so controversial either. I've been saying the same thing as you. If they don't innovate, listen, this ain't based on no opinion or conjecture either, or supposition or nothing like that. It's based on the numbers. Numbers don't lie. If you lose customers day in and day out, year over year, buyers are not going to be able to support that platform over time. They're not. You can promote the authentication process all you want. You can promote watches and Rolexes and shoes, and that's eBay lost itself. Y'all ever watch sports, especially football, and they be like, that team doesn't have an identity and they lose and they just keep losing until they finally get an identity, and you usually need like a coach to come in and say, hey, this is what we're good at and this is what we're going to stick with, and this is our foundation. eBay needs a CEO that's going to take them back to the genesis. They need to go back to the genesis and then work forward. And their marketing needs to be based on the genesis, the beginning, what eBay was founded on. Now, that doesn't mean that you stay the same, but it's your founding principles, what the company was built on. You're not, nor can you be Amazon, nor do you want to be. You're not, nor can you or want to be the Walmarts or the Poshes or the whatnots. However, based on who you are, how can you elevate and evolve as a platform and bring people back into the fold? By people, I mean customers. If they are losing sellers, it's because they're losing customers. But how can we do that? And I think they have to get back to their identity. Their identity is not a place to go buy a Rolex or a pair of, Jordans, or, because I think the authentication process is so damn great, I'm going to go to eBay. No, that's not your identity, man. And unless they can get back to that, it's just going to continue to be on the downward slope, Maya. I'm telling you, and I'm with you on that. And it's not going to be, hey, Rome didn't fall in a day. But I don't know what the end is going to be for Temu. I was just thinking to myself the other day, I said, what is Temu really trying to do? Why are they so aggressive? Like, I know I get the wanting to get market share and make money, but why? Why though? Why are they so aggressive in this U.S. market? I seen something one day, it was a video, and they was talking about Temu's goal isn't necessarily to be number one in the online retail space. Their goal is information. They want information. They want data. That's their goal. That's why they're so aggressive. That's why they're trying to get so many people in. Their end game is data. I thought there might be something to that. There might be something to that. Why else does a Chinese company want to have so much market share in our market in the US? I guess that's a conversation for another time. But my main point in bringing that up was the aggressiveness of a platform like that, the aggressiveness of a platform like Amazon, the aggressiveness of a platform like Walmart, even Whatnot. You see Whatnot commercials all the time. And right now, who knows what Whatnot will be in 10 years, but they're focused on their identity, what they are as a platform, and that's how they market themselves, right? eBay is not there, man. eBay is not there. And all of these platforms are finding ways to bring in not just the older Gen Zers and older generations or whatever, but Gen Z ain't all right. I always get these generations mixed up. Anyway, but they're focused on the young generation. I think Gen Z is the new ones, right? Tell me in the comments, y'all. I'm confused. But Temu, shop like a billionaire, Yeah, we know the stuff ain't billionaire type stuff, but it's catchy. Super Bowl. Everywhere you look, it's a commercial for Temu. They are super aggressive. eBay don't even have to be that aggressive because they already are established, but they need an identity. So let's relate that to you as a reseller. Like, you need an identity as a reseller if you want to be successful. What is your identity? You an everything seller? Fine, man. Right, rock out. Focus on that business model. Make the best out of it. If you are eBay fanatic, well, ride or die, hey man. But make it work the best you can. But what is your identity as a seller, as a person? What is your identity? I think a lot of people's issues are due to the fact that they don't necessarily have an identity, even as a business, as on a whole. What is my business about? Am I going to chase this today and that tomorrow? Am I going to just do cross posting today, but then tomorrow? Like, what are your identity? Are you going to thrift? Are you going to do wholesale? Are you going to focus on Amazon? Are you going to focus on the Walmarts of the world? Do you want to do live shows? And then that's not to say you can't do a little bit of each, but even in that, because it's so wide, you still need an identity as a seller, like what type of goods you want to sell. I mean, I don't know. These are just the things I think about personally for myself, because the world is bigger than what we got. Like this unit, the world is bigger than this space that we on, and the opportunities are much larger. Opportunities are much larger, y'all. That's why, I encourage y'all, don't just watch. And I know most of y'all probably don't, of course, because all y'all smart anyway. But don't just get caught up with this reseller stuff, man. Listen to all types of business stuff and do what's necessary. Do what's necessary. Do what's necessary. Forget what platform you sell on, or if you're selling on it, or if you need a job, get a job. Nobody care about that. Ain't nobody going. You one got to look in the mirror. Well, that should be your dumping ground. Get rid of the items you can't sell. I don't know if Mike, if it's just a dumping ground though. I think there's a lot more opportunity on there, man. I think there's a lot more opportunity, but we're going to find out. I don't know exactly when. I am going to wait until after everything in here is organized, and then I might even do the Whatnot shows out of that office space I'm going to be leasing. I might, because it might just be a better environment. eBay shouldn't have a problem bringing in young buyers. They're just not trying. There's ways to do it. I ain't even go to school for marketing, but I'm pretty sure I can come up with some marketing strategies for them. I just started there. I ran into a state sale that has thousands of clothing items, a lot with tags, huh? Hey, the guy here, he does estate sales, Mike. That's one of the things I'm gonna be doing in the summer, is going to some of his sales. He just got back. Estate sales season kind of got back in swing, and he do like a lot of the like flea markets and stuff too. So I want to tell you, I told him, I said, Mike, his name is Mike. Actually, it's crazy. I'm cool with a lot of Mikes, but his name is Mike. That dude been doing this for years, man, years. He got a lot of knowledge. I said, look, I'm gonna tag along with you. He's like, that's fine with me. It's fine with me. I'm going to sell them off starting at $1 Saturday night. So, Mike, I didn't even know. You probably said it, but I didn't even know you was on. I'm assuming that your name on Whatnot is the same, right? Flipping Goodies. Let me know so I can go over there and follow you and join your live. Yeah, Mr. Shea, it should be obvious that platforms have to keep adding new buyer groups to continue growing. I'm sure Sears and Lord and Taylor never thought they would die. J.C. Penney, you don't see too many J.C. Penney's, right? Bed Bath and Beyond. It's a lot of companies. I mean, it's just a cycle of business, though. But the ones that last, the Cokes of the world, right? They just find ways to continue to relate to the current. They find ways to solidify their position with the older generation and bring in the newer generation, right? Whether it's having a Jordan with a Coke or whoever it is that at the time that the young people are following, that's what they do, man. Oh, I gotta bring this up. This is totally off track, y'all. This is totally off track. But did y'all see Trump's new shoes? The gold shoes. I know y'all saw Trump's gold shoes, man. Hey, listen. Let me see something. Oh, man. You know what? I said to myself, I said, damn. If I knew when they was for sale, I would have bought some so I could flip them, man. I was so mad I could. I said, I'd have held them for a good 6 months. I'd have flipped them joints. Let me see if I can find a picture. I think they were selling for like $1,000 or something. I want to say they were selling for $1,000. I can't remember. Look, here they go. You got the gold. America first. Trump's high top sneakers sell out after hours after launch. Hey, listen, ain't no way I put those on my feet, but I flip them though. I flip them. It says only 1,000 pairs of the gold shoes were available per the sneaker website, which describes the sneakers as super limited. At least 10 of the gold sneakers were randomly autographed by Trump, according to the website. Can you imagine if you got a pair that was autographed, what those would sell for? Trump also launched the T-Red Wave sneaker and the POTUS 4.5, both priced at. I think I got to look into that. I can guarantee you this: if he come out with some more, I'm buying them to flip. I'm buying them to flip. I ain't gonna wear them, but listen, somebody out. I think I seen. Look, oh my goodness, I don't even know why I went down this path. Let me see. I don't even know why I went down this path. Look at this, y'all. Look at this crazy stuff. You see that? You got sold out 550. You got sold out 1,700. You got 61 watchers on this pair. This is probably an autograph pair. Let's see. $25,000. You got 67 watchers on this. They tripping. I don't see nothing about an autograph. Yeah. Look at this pair right here. Special offer, y'all. You can get these for the low price of $4,999. Oh my goodness. See? Hey man, listen. I don't knock them. That's thinking forward. You know, whoever and I heard about this late. I was late on this one. I swear to goodness, if I would have knew about this before the sale, and I would have tried my best to get some of those to flip. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'd have tried my damnedest. But hey, you know, I was sleeping. Don't not come to a sleeping but a dream. I don't want to see none of y'all walking around in those high top Trumps though. Please don't. Please don't. People do 100K in 24 hours there now. I know, Mike. I told you I seen a couple sellers. I think the one dude said he did like 150, 175. It's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. That if I did something like that, I'd probably change up my whole business model, man. The ones I watch have small channels. They just been consistent at doing shows and are slowly building up. I think that's the approach I'm gonna take, Mr. Shea. Just, be consistent with one show a week, build it up, and kind of go from there. I'm not going to rush it. I just want to see because I'm going to have to get used to it, I'm going to have to get used to it, but I don't think it's that difficult either. Hey, that's a great idea. Nice to hear someone not trashing young people and blaming them for all the problems. Listen, my problem with people who blame all the young people. What are you doing to help them? Look, I get people make their own choices, but when you got whole generations of people that grew up in single parent households, most of them with no really positive real male figure, a mother who has to work and take care of them, and what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? They being raised by the internet and YouTube and all that. Look, that ain't no excuse for some of the stuff that some of the young people do, but you'll never, ever, ever be able to touch the generation if you can at least empathize and find some solutions to help them. People act out because they're going through something. People do things because of something going on. So the answer ain't to say, oh, just look at them. They sold this and they sold that, and it's just a lost cause. If that's what you say, that's what it's going to be. And guess who the backlash comes to? It comes back to those of us that they feel like abandoned them in the first place. And I'm not saying like specifically you or any specific type of person, but hey, man, you know how the saying used to go, it take a village. Ain't no village no more. There ain't no village. If it take a village, if that was a saying that people stood on back in the day, it takes a village, and it was true, right? Kids turned out a lot better when the community was involved. You don't have a lot of community no more, man. It's like everybody's like, I'm gonna just do my thing, you do your thing. Well, what do that lead to? Isolation. And when people get isolated, they left to their own devices. And a lot of people already struggling upstairs. So if you left to your own devices, you got a lot going on emotionally. Maybe you traumatized. You might be traumatized. A lot of these kids been traumatized, and they ain't got nobody really there to like help them. And man, listen, I don't blame the young people for the most part. And the people that do want to market to them and reach out, a lot of times it's just to take advantage of them. The same way the government took advantage of them during COVID, the same way. Don't even get me started. Anyway, don't even get me started. But my nonprofit is going to be focused on trying to reach them where they're at and bring out, once you can identify what talent and what gift that person has, actually cultivating that and hopefully leading that person down a path, that's best for them, man. Everybody was created to do something different. We ain't the same. We wasn't made in a cookie factory. You know what I mean? When you were created, God broke the mold. That's what my grandma said. So many younger people being interested in ventures these days, that would be a perfect opportunity for eBay to gain that audience. It's a lot of opportunity. eBay just is not taking advantage of it. They're just not taking advantage of it. Unfocused, they're just doing too much and not doing a good job on any one thing. Again, identity. It boils down to them being in an identity crisis, and they have been, and none of the CEOs have taken them back to the genesis. They need to go back to the genesis, back to the beginning of who they are, what they were founded on, and why people started shopping on the site in the first place. But then you just modernize that experience. That's all. You touch the people where you reach them where they're at. How many of the young generation are looking for freaking Rolexes, right? Yeah, a lot of them buy shoes and stuff. That's different. But I mean, honestly, a lot of them, they could care less about the authentication thing, right? Yeah, I just don't. They just need some new people in marketing. Timu is part of the evil CCP. I do not. I would not argue with you on that. They got there's an agenda behind what they're doing. I have no idea what it is. I'm not going to act like I do. However, I'm in agreement with the video I watched where they said it's information, and I don't know what they want to do with that information, but it's definitely information. Mr. Lachey, yeah, they let Depop snap those buyers up instead. Maybe Etsy too, but I don't know what their buyer base is like. Yeah, they can learn a lot of things from sites like Depop, but they're mainly still miners. Well, y'all, listen, I'm going to let y'all go tonight. Look, as far as I know, I said in my last video, I might change the lives and stuff, but I don't think I'll have to. Me and my sons, we did our training tonight. And plus, they still kind of young, so I don't want to keep them too long because their attention span is still fairly short. So I think I can still do this at the same time on the same day. I don't think I have to change it up. I would rather not, because everybody's kind of used to the day and the time. I know Mike still always asks me to do it earlier, but I think I'm going to keep it where it's at. I think I can still do that. And then some days I'll just bring them here with me and they can do whatever it is I got them doing that day. They can do it here. So we'll just keep everything the same. But listen, y'all, I appreciate all of y'all. Don't give up. Y'all keep doing what y'all got to do, man. Unsubscribe from all those negative YouTubers. I'm giving you permission. Go right now and unsubscribe from all the negative YouTubers, y'all. And just follow those that are positive, those that have some integrity, and challenge yourself to, do something different, man. If your business is struggling, do something different. Do something. Don't be eBay. Don't be eBay. Maybe you got away from who you are as an individual or who you are or why you started the business in the first place. Maybe you gotten away from that. Sometimes you can get away from that with just chasing the shiny objects and all the softwares. Back to why you started this and work backwards so you can move forward. Work backwards so you can move forward. Having said that, I'll let y'all go for now, man. I'll talk to y'all again soon. I appreciate y'all. And y'all have a good night. And hi, Freya. It's okay you late, but I'm signing off now. Thank you for showing up, though. Thank you.